Hey there, which drone should I buy, Jared? I don't have one. Which one should I get? This is a question I get all the time. And we have 3 of them here. And let's talk about which one you should get. Well, this one shoots 4K video. This one shoots 4K video. This one shoots 4K video. And they're all different prices, and yeah, which one? Well, let's cut right to the chase. If you're looking for the all-around best drone that you can get for videography, fun, travel, get the DJI Mavic Pro. Now, that being said, DJI is about to release the second version of this in 2 days, I think, 2 or 1 days. So you might have to get that one, but also that means the prices on the original Mavic Pro should be going down. So let's get into the details. This is the Inspire 1, which is actually the oldest. This is the DJI Mavic Pro, which is second oldest in this lineup. And here is the new DJI Mavic Air. You would say, well, the Mavic Air, Jared, that is the cheapest one. Shouldn't I start out with that? Well, it's only about a $200 price difference right now. And for the range of how far you can fly these drones, it is worth it to spend the extra $200. So I live in Atlanta, and there's a lot of interference. There's building, there's like Wi-Fi signals everywhere. There's a lot of noise in the air. This DJI Mavic Air barely goes like 3 streets away. So if you live in a heavily populated area, go for the Mavic Pro. So what about this over here, the DJI Inspire 1? Well, it's a little more pricey, and now they have the Inspire 2 out. I would say, unless you are doing small indie films, or if you're actually in the film business, you do not need this one. So I'm not gonna get into all the color depth and everything like that, but the camera here that the Inspire 1 uses, it attaches right there. That has a bigger camera sensor in it. So really tiny camera sensor here, bigger camera sensor there. More data can be processed through that sensor. This creates the best looking video quality, and these are about the same. They have kind of the same sensor. Now, if you're gonna get into the specs, you can look it up on your own. There are tons of videos out there comparing this versus this versus this. I think Casey Neistat even has one out. You know, for the majority of the things that you're gonna be doing, this sensor is going to be good enough. But a lot of people bring up the fact, well, the Mavic Air folds up and it's smaller than this, right? A little bit easier to travel with. Watch this. And yeah, you can see that the Air is smaller than the Mavic Pro here, which should fit in your bag easier. But here's the problem. You gotta bring your controller with you anyway. So this is the Mavic Air controller, and here is the Mavic Pro controller. Now we're talking about, you don't save that much space when you're traveling. So that is why I mainly tell people, go for the Mavic Pro. Do not get rid of your Mavic Pro for the Mavic Air, especially if you've been flying the Pro already. Now, the only cool feature I do love about the Mavic Air is the rear obstacle avoidance. So this would be great for beginners, but you know, you're flying backwards, it'll stop if you're about to hit a tree. The Mavic Pro only has the sensors up front. The Inspire 1 only has the sensor on the bottom. If you're really worried about crashing it, you know, I'd actually still rather go with the Mavic Pro. The majority of the time you're only flying forwards. If you're flying, I don't see a lot of people flying backwards. And if you're that worried about it, buy the DJI protection program. I think it's $100 for the Mavic Pro, and they'll replace it within 48 hours, up to 2 times. It's definitely worth it, buy it. The only other thing people say about the Mavic Air is it flies really well indoors, and it does. We're like, oh, you can fly it indoors. Yeah, but in some place like this, you know, it's not really worth it to fly indoors. I can run with this thing, and the gimbal is so good, it just looks like it's flying anyway. There's really not a lot of reason to fly indoors for me, but maybe you have a reason. Anyway, to recap, get the Inspire 1 or Inspire 2 only if you're serious into film stuff. Get the Mavic Pro, just get it. And do not buy the Mavic Air, unless you have a good reason in the comments. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and be sure to subscribe for when I do the comparison for the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro 2 when it comes out.